We'll go through updates. Okay, the Antique Auto Club of America. Bass Nation of West Virginia. Buffalo Valley Association. I serve on the board, but that's CASA.
Didn't know we were going in alphabetical order.
Lucky
We
you,
were going
huh?
by the
Lucky
first
you.
one underneath the gun. So
That's all right.
anyway, I wanted to thank you all for considering our grant request and for all the years that you have supported us. So we are growing, both in the number of volunteers we have and also in the number of children we're serving. We're up, I believe, I'm looking at a 32%. So, you know, we need help to actually grow our staff, to support the additional trainings that we have for volunteers, to accompany our volunteers when they're visiting children out of county. Some of them are on extremely rural roads and they're done in evenings, and to give that volunteer all the support they need, you know, we go with them. We assist families with things that they need, and these are kinship families who, you know, are falling between a rock and a hard place. They don't qualify for benefits or certified foster care payments as soon as they receive these children. So we try to fill those cracks. So in the past year, we do regularly provide cribs, mattresses, beds, weighted blankets, car seats, strollers. You know, we do those types of things to help these families in need. And most especially, we work, you know, with these kids. The kids that we follow, we fully serve 55 children this year, and that means seeing these children regularly, talking to their schools, visiting them no matter where they're placed, and for, you know, a proportion of our children are placed out of county. Some are in residential treatment facilities, some bounce between foster home and facilities. So we have one volunteer who in the last year has driven to Cabell County, Kanawha County, now up to Wetzel County, following, one of the children that she's assigned to, and then also visiting a sibling that is placed in Elkins. So you can see we're on the road a lot, and so to support our volunteers, we do what we can, including grant funding that helps with reimbursement of certain expenses. And this year we are asking for a little bit more because we are applying for VOCA funds for another position. And in order to get that VOCA funding, we have to show a certain level of match. We've been pretty successful, almost 100% successful in increasing our VOCA funds over the last 2 years. And, you know, one of the things that we have done consistently is, you know, do the things that VOCA has wanted us to do, you know, increase our work and awareness in the community with, you know, abuse and neglect, and also, you know, just the monthly requirements that VOCA needs as reporting requirements. We are, you know, timely in doing that, so we think we have a really good chance of getting that funding. The things that are holding us back this year is the United Way changed its fiscal year, so its allocation is already set. So I can't ask them for increased funding this year. Our state CASA office has, you know, lost its grant funding, so they're withholding some of the funding that we get every year from them. So I'm hopeful that this may only be a one-year request, and that next year we don't have to come to you to ask for more funding, but this year we truly do need it. So, you know, the children that we serve have multiple traumas. It's not just the experience of, you know, the chaos of their lives. It's the ongoing trauma for the amount of time that they're in care, the uncertainty of knowing, you know, what is going to happen to them. It's the guilt they feel for maybe being the person who, you know, talked to the social worker and you know, initiated that kind of removal of the children. So, you know, these kids need a lot of support. And throughout this process, which on average takes 19 months, the workers and people that they see change. The only one person who is consistent until the case is dismissed either through reunification or adoption is their CASA. And so we need more of them. We don't have enough. So there were 171 children last year in our county that were removed from their parents due to abuse and neglect. And so we don't have enough CASAs to serve all of those children. Our goal is to increase that number to 28 CASAs this year and increase it the following year to maybe 35 or 40. But, you know, we need to also bring some sanity to our schedule because so much of what we do is on the evenings and weekends and, you know, we need help. So, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Connecting Link. Disability Action Center. Hi, Julie.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all, and thank everybody here. I really appreciate everyone that's in this room, and especially the County Commission who has supported us for years and years, and none so more important than the last decade that you supported the Disability Action Center. It's really hard to believe that on April 30th, we'll be celebrating 10 years in that facility. So stay tuned for more information on that. But what I want to share with you is just a little information about our request this year. You know, 10 years has come and gone, and we've really transformed that center from a vacant building to not only a center for people with disabilities, but the entire community. We really open it up to everyone and offer an integrative setting for the community at large to use the center. And it takes a lot of work. And I think any nonprofit will tell you, you know, maintaining a facility is a very heavy burden for us. And all the dollars that we put into facilities maintenance and improvements, that really takes away from our programs. And that's what we're here to do, is to provide really good programs and services to people with disabilities. There used to be a line item on the state level called the Governor's Community Participation Grant, which many of us had benefited from for facility updates and improvements. And that went away about 4 or 5 years ago. So what we're asking for is your continued support to help us. We're 10 years in. It's time for us to change out some carpet and some lighting and some drop ceiling. And with the help of the commission throughout the years and some other grantors who've been able to help with capital expenses, we're able to spend a whole lot more money where it needs to be on our clients. So thank you.
Thank you. Provide wonderful service.
Thank you,
very much.
Randy.
Fairmont Chamber of Music Society.
I'll leave these folders with you. Good morning. I'm Brenda Giannis, president of the Fairmont Chamber of Music Society. I've been here before. You know my pitch, you know my routine. But I do want to thank all the commissioners, the county commission, for supporting the Fairmont Chamber of Music Society. We're going on our 38th year next year. And the support has helped us maintain our quality programming of 4 concerts per year, open to the public in St. Peter's, and it's all handicap accessible, which is wonderful, so that everyone can attend. But last year, we had a request for a set amount. This year, we're asking for a little bit more, but I want to explain why. When we did our strategic plan several years ago, and we worked with the state, and we still apply for our grants and all of our other funding that we're getting, which keeps us going, we did a whole overhaul, and we needed to do more with reaching out to the young people in our community because we want them to be exposed to quality chamber music programming. So we've been working with the Board of Education, and they purchased tickets for the high school choral and band program several years ago. That is ongoing, so those students can attend free with a parent, and their teachers get complimentary tickets. This is our educational outreach component. I met with all the principals back in December, and I've been working with our superintendent And we have provided complimentary tickets for the music personnel and asking them to come and encourage students to come to the Fairmont Chamber Music Society concerts. But we didn't think that was enough because we wanted to do on-site concerts in the schools with our students. And so we have arranged next year through our regular concert programming to extend our concerts are on Sundays. So we're going to extend our concerts into the school the next day in East Fairmont High School and West Fairmont High School next year, so that our artists will stay and they will go to the school and present a concert to those two high schools. And then we want to include North Marion the following year. We're limited with what we can do, so we have to kind of budget how we're doing it. But we also have written a grant, a smaller grant, and are asking other organizations and grant foundations and so on to provide some money for us to start an educational line item. And we hope that this grant comes through. We want to do 6. Originally I said in the budget proposal submitted 9, but we're going to do 6 elementary and middle school concerts in the North Marion attendance area next fall, working with the superintendent and the schools, and actually have a separate group come in who work with children and do concerts in the schools. We want to do this over a 3-year period, so we can do the North Marion attendance area, and then do the West Fairmont attendance area and the East Fairmont attendance area. So that's why we have requested a little bit more money so we can start this and have a little cushion. And we're waiting for the other grant monies. We won't know anything probably till May and June. So it's always up in the air when you're a nonprofit. But we certainly appreciate any support that you can give us. You've been wonderful. You helped us out when we were in a bind several years ago. We're on sure footing. We're out there working very hard for our kids and for our seniors and for everyone else that wants to come to our concerts. And in your folder, there's our final concert is going to be March 31st. It's the Almava Trio. It's a cello, violin, piano group, and it'll be 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. And there's a complimentary ticket in it, and it's 2 people, so just see me. I'm always at the door when you come, and we would love to have you come and see, if you haven't been there, see what we are all about, and we certainly appreciate it, and I sincerely mean that, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Fairmont Community Youth Development Center. Fairmont Middle Lacrosse. Homestead Farm Center.
Good morning.
Good morning.
On behalf of the Farm Center, thank you for having me here today to be able to speak to you. The funds that we have requested this year, we hope to use them to strengthen our urban farming and gardening activities of our rural summer program with the Sow and Grow Urban Garden Program. Our participants are going to be back at the Fairmont Community Garden again this summer, where we will be tending to several raised beds. Last year we were one of the few who were out there every week working on our garden beds. We had, I think, 3 or 4 beds out there. We were out there every week working on them. In addition to this, we will be creating a pilot program called the Sow and Grow Food Bank, and this will provide garden produce from both the Fairmont Community Garden and the Homestead Farm Center Gardens, home with clients and members of the Disability Action Center, as well as donating the produce to several organizations such as the Op Shop, Soup Opera, and Marion County Food Bank. This will require the purchase of garden supplies for the community and home gardens and food staples to provide materials for healthy meals using the vegetables that participants raise in the garden. This would kind of be like a modified community support agriculture program where our clients go out and they tend the beds, they raise the produce themselves, and when the produce is ready to go, they get to take it home with them. And we provide additional things they might need to make a meal. So if they want to make a healthy dinner of spaghetti, we'll provide the tomatoes from the garden, and we'll provide the spices for the sauce. And we'll also provide them with the pasta in order to make the meals, and we'll provide those extra things that you can't grow in the garden. This pilot program will expand our health and wellness goals as well as providing nutritious meals to the community. Our rural program, we focused a lot this summer on accountability, eating healthier, taking care of yourself, being active. So this will be just one way to kind of expand that even further by providing them with the fruits of their labor, so to say. What they get to work on in the summer, they get to take home with them and provide those meals to their families.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope Incorporated.
I'm never sure if we're under task force or if we're under Hope Incorporated. While she's passing this out, I just want to take a
Thank
minute
you.
to thank you for all of your past support for our agency in general, and then all of the support that we've gotten during this past year in our move to our new facility. That we are almost at a year. Next month will be a year that we'll be out there, and it's definitely been with the support of the community that we got out there and got settled in, and I think we're slowly getting used to being out there in the neighborhood. It was a little different than being here in downtown. It's much quieter. And that took a little bit because I thought, wow, we're the loud ones now. Oh gosh. So it's been quite a year. We've got some projects underway out there. There were a couple of rooms that we didn't have finished when we moved out there. And so actually just this week, our children's playroom, the renovations for that are now underway and taking place. And we're also going to do an outside area, hopefully this summer as well. So both of those projects are kind of getting started. We've been pretty much, I want to say like 99.99% full since we moved out there. And actually, it's kind of, that trend started before we even moved out there. But now that we've been out there, we're virtually full. And 40% of our shelter nights came from Marion County residents last year. So, yes.
What other counties do you?
We do Marion, Harrison, Lewis, Doddridge, and Gilmer. So 40% of our nights came from right here in South Marion County. Harrison is our second biggest county as far as nights. And 24% of our overall clients for those 5 counties actually came from Marion County. So it's definitely, having the shelter facility with our offices here is definitely beneficial for the residents of Marion County.
Out of curiosity, the other counties, how do they participate in your funding?
So we belong to the United Ways of all of our other counties that have United Way agencies. So we're supported there. We do apply to the county commissions of the other counties as well.
Do they help you out also?
Some of them are able to do that, yes.
What percentage of your funding comes outside of Marion County? Ballpark,
From
all sources.
outside
Outside
of
of
Marion.
Marion.
I was going to say federal and state make up most of the majority of our funding.
In comparison to other counties you provide services for too, what percentage from United Way and all other sources?
I don't know, we'd have to get back to you on that one, because if you take into account the United Ways and the other commissions, some of the other counties may provide a little bit more support. But yet, then there's the community piece where we have the shelter. So the community is definitely supporting us in shelter living and things like that. Whereas just having offices in the other 4 counties, they don't necessarily have that same level of community support that we get with having the shelter. I say we'll have to get back to you on that one, because I'm not sure. That's a really good question, actually, as to like if you take our local funding for each of the counties, where that kind of sets up.
I'm just curious because you said 50% of the people you shelter are Marion County citizens. I just wonder what percentage of the other counties help pay for the facility. Whether
Yes.
you provide a wonderful, and I'm really proud. I've been in the building. It's a beautiful place, much needed move. We supported that financially to help you get there. and I have always supported you since I've been here, and you've one organization, but I wasn't aware that, that you provide the services for five other counties, and just was curious, what do they, how they
Yes.
participate in funding you? You're providing them shelter, you know, and I just
Yes,
wondered.
I do. I can tell you that like our United Way in Harrison, because a lot of our shelter residents come from that county as well, they do pick up a piece of the sheltering expense there.
You also provided funding from Marion County, United Way?
Marion County United Way, yes. Mhm.
Plus us.
And they help us with sheltering expenses and staff expenses. And then we do have at least one other county commission, and they actually help with shelter expenses too. They've helped with a lot of the renovation piece that we've done in the past few years. And then we have another United Way that covers 2 counties, and they basically help with the staff and the office expenses in their particular counties that they serve. Yeah, so we do get some help, but Harrison is probably our next biggest county as far as shelter residents and where they come from and numbers of people served, just because of the population. So yeah, so we just wanted to say thank you and let you know that we're almost to the year, and it's been a long year, but it's actually been a good year, and I think it'll be even better once we get some of our children's areas finished, especially for the little ones that we have. But yes.
Thank you for the
Thank
great
you.
job you did, appreciate it. Make-A-Wish, Greater Penn in West Virginia. Mannington Boards of Park and Recreation. Mannington Cart Crafters. Main Street of Mannington. Marion County Breast Cancer Coalition from the General Hospital. Marion County's Girls Fast Pitch Softball Association. Marion County Masters Gardeners. Marion County Senior Citizens Incorporated. Marion County Special Olympics. Mon River Trails Conservatory. Mountaineer Bigwell Club. Off Limits Bass Club. Over the Hill Cruisers. Paw Paw District Fair Association. Prickers Fort Memorial Foundation.
Morning.
Good morning.
Everybody this morning.
Very good.
You lost the coin flip we started today.
Oh, that's okay. I was prepared. I'm going to make this short. I just want to thank the commissioners for all their support in the past for Prickers Fort Memorial Foundation. Hoping we work together this year and in the future. You've always been big supporters of the foundation and the fort. Prickers Fort's always been tried to be good stewards of the county and tourism, bringing in people into the county, which we have done. We have increased that greatly over the past couple of years. To give you an example, this year alone, we've already brought in 2,000 people into just our programs, not the park, but our programs themselves. So we've worked hard to increase that visitation. Big new thing going on this year, we're just starting a campaign to raise funds for a concession area, which that's something new that we're just raising matching funds now. That doesn't have anything to do with here, but eventually we'll have kayak rentals, food, that type of thing out there, which the park has needed for 40 years. I don't know what's taking them so long to move that project forward, but the food industry is not the best thing to do. But anytime you draw people in for the day, you have to feed them. So that was something I came up with a couple of years ago. I just met with the architects last night, so that's something that's going to happen in the park. Right now, we've already raised about $40,000 for that project, not counting grants, that's just private donations. To give you an example how we're going to move that forward. Met with the architects of Thrasher Industry last night, and that's been a slow process, but they are helping us out. So I have to learn to be a little patient. So that's. But I just want to thank you guys again for all your help, and we'll move this forward for today. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Reset Incorporated.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We want to thank you again for all the help that the County Commission has provided to Reset and the Rising Stars After School program. As we were under redevelopment, under new board and new director, myself, we made some big strides in the past year. We went from servicing approximately 20 students every day, Monday through Friday, to we have currently enrolled 48. We have, in our partnership with Fairmont State, we have 7 tutors, mostly out of the education department, that are working with our children. And we've been able to increase our nutrition program, in collaboration and assistance through Food Lion. So now, in addition to being able to offer nutritious meals, we can now afford to provide fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as nutritional education to the children. So we're really excited about that. I'll make it quick. Some of the things that we introduced that we were looking forward to was a yoga program that would help the kids when they come in to sit down and focus on their homework and not be so scattered. It's also helped with behavior issues. We're happy to say that in our second year of doing this program, that we have only had 1 student that was under some type of disciplinary action, whether it was, I believe it was just a short-term suspension. So we're seeing behavioral changes of our children. We had 17 students that made honor roll. We're very happy about that. Those are things that we're excited about, but what we found, some of the gaps were, we provide programming for elementary and middle school children. It's open to our high school children, but there's really no space for them. If you've not been up to the building, on both floors, it's very open space. There are no closed classrooms. So the teams that would like to participate have no space that they can call their own. So we're, in what we've provided to you, we're providing a program that is specifically designed to pull the teenagers in, and we're working with Fairmont Community Youth Development to have space and to have new program coordinators that are going to do programs for them under issues like financial literacy,
peer education and team leadership. We're also doing things, I wrote all my notes down and flipping through them, I'm sorry. The financial literacy entrepreneurial program, community activist program, peer education, so we're taking them into leaders,